Get to know the babes behind the brand as they talk business, women supporting women, and share what it's really like to work in the fashion industry.
Welcome back.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
It's Leah.
It's Carley. I should have been like, hey guys, Leah and Carley here.
Yeah,
But you know, one day, maybe in 100 more episodes,
we'll get it together.
Intro, we'll figure it out.
No, I know how to say my name. I don't mind. I can do it.
We're all real proud of you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks,
And
guys.
Donni, obviously, guys. How are
The
you
standard
today?
welcome back. Good. I actually have been really productive this morning. I feel really good.
You're having a good day.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
I
like
came in,
on.
everyone's dressed head to toe, and I'm feeling really off. And I said, is that freaky moon that we had last night affecting or maybe that was 2 nights ago, affecting anybody? And you guys seemed like unfazed by it, but I'm definitely like a shit show.
Last week was off for me. Everyone can attest to the fact that words were hard, and I was like really struggling. But this week I feel good. But you have a lot of different things going on.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through a move, so I'm living between 2 houses, and that alone is unsettling. You know, like difference between whether your laundry's done or not, or your closet's clean, like something as simple as that, how that affects your day when you get dressed in the morning. I feel like it's magnified for me right now. So I'm just really struggling to like kind of get a momentum. I'm like, I don't have a flow.
When you were saying like your kitchen wasn't moved over.
Yeah, so
It's like you're living in a house with nothing.
I was really, really proud of the fact that I watched a couple episodes of that tidying up show. And then I think the technique is called KonMari. And it's like the Marie Kondo style of like folding things. So you get really organized, you minimize, you get rid of things. And I did it for all 3 of my kids' bedrooms. And I was so proud of myself that now their clothes are all moved in, really organized. I don't feel like we have any excess junk. It's all usable. And I'm like, this is how I want the rest of the move to go. And so we kind of like got livable over at the new house, but the kitchen wasn't moved. So my
That's
kids
really
were like,
hard.
I'm hungry. I'm
You're like, let me run over
back
and
to
cook
the
you
old house.
something.
and I should clarify, like the house is like next door, so it's easy. But it was so cold and rainy. I was like, I don't want to go over there.
That's funny.
The kitchen is moved. The kids' bedrooms are moved. Most of the furniture's moved, but my clothes, I refuse to move everything over until I have it like organized. And obviously, you guys can imagine my closet is not like the smallest. So I need to like really carve some time out to get that part of my life in order.
Carley, how are you?
I'm well. Well-ish. I think,
Just happy
starting
and in
the
love.
new year.
So
So in love. Starting the new year off, obviously trying that exercise thing.
You're doing it?
Good job.
Well, remember how I told you I was going to go to the rec center last night? I didn't. But like,
It's all right. There's today.
yeah, there is today.
Yeah. Today's
We will
a
see
whole
about
new
today.
day.
I was actually had every intention to finish that show today. So maybe tomorrow.
That's realistic. I like that answer.
I'm just going, I'm saying once a week something physical, like outdoors, active, something.
And you hiked
once a week.
last weekend.
That is achievable.
That's moving into my boss or bust, actually.
Okay,
So-
well, hold it, because we have to
Okay.
bring our guest in
Okay,
first.
perfect.
Okay, let's bring her in now, and then we can get into boss or bust. So an interior designer turned farmer, this boss babe has a knack for finding the beauty in everything. You'll also probably recognize her name from Style at Home or HGTV's Love It or List It or many, many other places. We're excited to welcome the founder of Purity Designs, Sydney Carlaw.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So excited to have you. I guess we shouldn't say turned farmer. You do both still.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we came onto some property about 5 years ago, and coming onto that property, it came with 4 sheep, 5 acres of land. So we became farmers because of the property, and then decided to actually start growing garlic. And so started off in design. Both my husband and I knew nothing about farming.
That's 2 different
But
worlds.
It's very different.
Completely. And my husband is in IT, travels a lot. I'm in design. So it's a totally new world. But the property was gorgeous and obviously had the potential to farm and keep the sheep. And so we just thought, okay, let's give this a go.
That's
love
like a
that.
good example of multitasking and multiple revenue streams as well, which
Yeah.
is like, I had a conversation with somebody this morning about how that's the way of the world. Everyone's doing 2 or 3 things nowadays. They don't just do one thing.
But also, what else are you going to do with that property? Like, just leave it bare and
Totally.
live on it? I
Yeah.
think that's a great way
It has
to
live
utilize
up
your
to its
resources.
potential. It's a farm and wants to be a farm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It does want to be a
Exactly.
farm.
I
You are
respect
right.
the hell out of that.
Absolutely.
That's
Well,
my dream.
Me too.
Yeah, and it's not just like when you come up the driveway, it's cedar lined and it winds up, and then it's a
sounds
little bit
beautiful.
hilly as well.
Wow.
And the sheep are Romney sheep, and so they're actually beautiful sheep to see roaming. So you feel like you've entered this different new land, and so just because of that, it called to keep it. The existing homes are all cedar built as well, so the 2 barns are, the house is all built by hand by a man that moved there in the 70s. And so there was so many things that we just felt like we couldn't take it down. We couldn't do anything with it. And actually somebody even wrote about the book in Vanishing Vancouver, and just talking about old buildings and old homes and just keeping them intact. And so because of that, it was something that we just felt, how could we touch? We had to keep it going.
Is it a part of the ALR? Like,
It's actually not.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not.
That's
No.
huge that you kept it a farm too, because there's probably huge money. You said it was in, like,
In, like,
Murrayville.
rezoning.
Exactly. We
So
had to
to-
actually reapply to get farming status.
I
again.
love that
Yeah.
though. That's amazing that you kept the farm intact and
Yeah.
you didn't like subdivide and make a whole bunch of money. I'm sure
Yeah.
you could have, but
Yeah.
that's
I
amazing.
love that too, because I actually really appreciate that. I love the history that comes with that. I like new, but I don't like new as much. I prefer like a little story and history there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what makes it neat and unique, is just how special it is. And
The
being-
heritage, like what a
Yeah.
design project.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, fun and challenging, right? Because
Yeah.
you're dealing with existing beams and existing cedar and a lot of dark accents. But at the same time, I was trying to lighten it up and brighten it up and make it interesting. And so,
While maintaining kind of the character that you're walking into. Wow.
Yeah. So it was a fun challenge, but
Okay,
Wow,
have
neat.
you found a kind of peace? I feel like you would find peace, like a different kind of peace internally, and like living that type of life as well.
yeah, no, definitely. I think, and I say this because we constantly hear it, is when you come up the driveway, you honestly do feel like you've entered a different world. And all our trades, so whether it be tile people or people selling stone, everybody seems to want to stay at our property and stay at the studio now. So instead of us visiting them, they often want to come to the studio, because it does feel like, because you're also surrounded, like the full 5 acres, the left, the right, everywhere is surrounded in cedar trees. So you don't even sense another home. So because of that, you honestly feel like you're in a bit of a different world.
Why did we invite you to our office?
I know, and I think that was
know,
the
I wanted you
initial
to
idea. You
come.
wanted
I
us to come.
did.
Okay,
I
I
did.
want to come anyways and just check it out.
Just to see it. It is
I'm
neat.
super passionate
Sounds
about
amazing.
design and everything that I've gone through in the last year with like building our house.
Right.
Last 2.5 years. Yes. I would love to see it. That's very exciting.
Thank you. Yeah,
Sounds
it's just
beautiful.
unique, right? And it's old and it's small. I mean, my house is only 1,600 square feet.
It's character though.
So everything's just small and unique. And we
love that.
came from like a brand new construction, 4,200 square feet. So we came from a big home that was all furnished. I had to try and rearrange the furniture and figure it all out. But so at first I was like, wow, how do we do this? How do, my 2 daughters and all of us share one bathroom? How do we make this all work? But you start to pare down, you get rid of things that aren't important. And we love it now. And now the property, we host parties all the time, mainly outside. But it is a fun place to have people over and stuff too.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I feel like nothing sparks better creativity or design than a whole whack of challenges.
Yeah.
Whether it's smaller or historic or falling apart or whatever, like what you have to come up with to overcome that ends up being the most special things that you wouldn't have chosen to begin with.
Yeah, I agree.
totally.
Renovations, no matter what kind of renovation it
You
is,
never know what
definitely.
you're
Yeah,
biting
it's
off,
the
yeah.
most challenging for sure. Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Carly, are you holding that thought? Your boss or bust?
Yes.
Let's go there.
So, like I said, I have the intention to do something physical, activity-wise, outside, be some sort of
Move. You want to
do
move.
something. Yes, because I've been pretty lazy since basically my last New Year's resolution. I haven't done anything.
I'm with you there. So
Yeah.
just like you've come.
All right.
Yeah. So I
support
actually
this.
did a boss of a hike on Sunday. It was a beautiful day. I drove out to the back of Chilliwack, Lindeman Lake, It's beautiful. I've done it before. And I will say, I did do it about this time last year. And it was a little easier this year.
Oh, good.
Once a year,
Whoa.
getting better. So
Well, I feel like we need to put like physical health aside for a second. Like, if we're not good at going to the gym, like there's so many other parts of it, like mentally how healthy you are, and like your heart. Like, you might just be in a better place. Period. Which maybe you haven't been like lifting weights and working out, but
You've
still,
lifted a few boxes.
Yeah,
I certainly have.
there's been some muscular activity.
Yeah.
There's been some
But
activity.
yeah, no, my boyfriend and I decided that once a week, at least he goes to the gym all the time. It's really super annoying. Like,
It
he's
is
super
annoying,
healthy.
right?
I'm just like, go fuck
Yeah.
yourself. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I call him a true inspiration. He's like, oh yeah, I did this at the gym today. I'm like, you're a true inspiration to us all. Like, whatever.
Way to go. Here's a cookie.
Good for you.
I'm drinking a glass of wine right
yeah.
now, so.
I lifted the bottle of wine.
So anyways, I did Lindeman Lake and it's got me all powered up. I'm going to do one on Sunday as well.
Good.
Good for you.
Little
Thank you.
successes.
Yeah, I
Little
like that.
successes. Yeah.
I'm taking a full bust this week because I still have not cleaned out the office from after the PJ party when we just like hid a bunch of things in the office.
It's okay.
The front end looked amazing, and then the office is like a disaster.
Okay, but like,
And it's
doesn't everyone
middle of
have that
January.
even in their house? Like, where's your stash? Like, where,
No,
even if
my
it's your
closet.
office or your home, like, where's your
Absolutely.
stash?
You need a place to throw
Everyone's
things.
got a stash.
dirty
Can it
drawer.
maybe not be the only office with a door in the building?
Well, goals. Let's get a little victory
Goals.
there.
So that's it's a bust. I still have not done that. We're 2.5 months later. Anyhow, that's where I'm at this week.
I feel like I
Donni?
could take a whole back of bus there with you. So please feel better about
Take
yourself.
a boss for something. Did you put
Um,
gas in your car?
Yeah.
Oh,
I came here with 3/4 of a tank of gas.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Holy.
That's a
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, I have been making it a habit of texting you guys when I'm on like 10
Empty.
kilometers to empty.
So you guys know where I am. You know the situation.
We should start putting this in the Facebook group.
Well, I'm like, wow, I am the proud owner of like 19 jerry cans. I'm like, I don't know if that's something that should be in my Instagram profile.
I think
in
it
your
should.
bio.
In my bio, right?
Yeah, it should.
No, I'm somewhat holding it together. It's not the way I like to start a new year. I have so many like visions and dreams and goals of things I want to like crush in 2019, and I feel a little bit limited with my current situation being like midst a move and whatever, but it's just a whole bunch of challenges that I want to overcome. So I want to get settled. I'm just trying to look at it as goals instead of defeats.
Yeah, I think that's good. Cindy, where are you at?
Yeah,
Boss or
I'm
bust?
going to go with boss. Thanks to my daughter. She's been trying to challenge us to eat healthier. And so I've taken up that challenge. And so it's not necessarily cutting the bad things out because I can't do that. I love chocolate. I love to have a hamburger once in a while. But just trying to add more healthy meals. So learn a lot of even vegan meals, learn some other things to make. And we've been doing that. And it's been great just to add that to our diet.
Yeah,
So-
because if you add a bunch of healthy, there's less room for the crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And you feel great. And
Yeah.
before you know it, like that, especially last week, I was feeling so great that I was like, why wouldn't I just do this forever?
Yeah, and you start to like it.
Yeah,
The more
absolutely.
healthy that you are living, you start to enjoy it because you're reaping the benefits.
I agree.
I think one of the keys is to take your favorite meal that you love and you're obsessed with and is so comforting and figure out how to make it a little healthier.
Totally.
yeah, that's a good
Because
idea.
then you're like still comforted by it, but you're like, I can eat this because it's a little bit healthier than it was before.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I want to
for you, that's
highlight
awesome.
that recipe that you gave us on the podcast a few weeks ago that I've been making and I'm obsessed with.
Wait, what did I share there?
Okay, so you were making, they were vegan bites. What are they called? The patty. They're veggie patties. And you buy them, they're big
the
mountain.
breakfast one?
Yeah. The breakfast patties. Yes, that's what they're called.
Yes.
And you can buy them, they're Big Mountain Foods. And I think they're
Yeah,
like
they're really good.
cauliflower based, possibly.
It's like cauliflower and pea and sweet potato.
But you can pan fry them in the morning. And I've been doing it. You had like a different cabbage mix or something that you would pan
Yeah,
fry
I
with
buy
it?
it's like a shaved cabbage, tricolor cabbage, kale, and something else. So I fry it with that.
So I bought Swiss chard.
Oh yeah.
And I've been just like pan frying that with it.
That would be yummy because the patties are a bit sweet, so the Swiss chard would give a little bit of
It's
bitterness.
actually the most satisfying, healthy breakfast. Like
really good.
I've been kind of had that on repeat. And
love
Ev's
it.
been like, oh, that's so good. What is that you're pan frying? And it's like the healthiest.
It's so healthy
Aw,
and
dang.
so
That's
good.
easy too.
Yeah.
Takes no time.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah.
And it's like not expensive either. Like
No.
if someone is on a budget, it's a good option.
The patties are like $7 for I don't know, 8 patties or something.
Totally.
And you
It's
need
not
like
bad.
2 because
Yeah.
they're so high in protein.
They're just
I'm so
quick.
glad you've been doing
Yeah,
that.
and it's like something I have time for in the morning.
Yeah.
I've been doing that and celery juicing in the morning. It's about
So
the
good.
only healthy thing I do all day because after 3 o'clock,
That
the only
is
thing
a-
getting opened is
So
a
that's a
red-
boss.
Just a boss that you followed through with your celery juicing.
Yeah.
Look
One
at
week,
you.
1 week.
That's
amazing.
so exciting.
Although I was saying to Katie on the way here, I feel like it's making me feel a little shitty. Like my skin is not quite. I
think
feel like
it
I'm
detoxes you,
detoxing.
yeah.
Is it just celery you put in? That's
So
it?
first thing in the morning, I've a cup of celery juice, and I use like I'll do 2 stalks, which will make like 2 big cups, and one for Ev and one for me. And you do it on an empty stomach, and then I'll have my coffee like 45 minutes later. I just like put it off.
Yeah.
So it's something, and so I posted it on my Instagram stories the other day, and so many people replied. Were like, "I've been doing it for a month, and I feel so good."
Yeah.
So I'm excited about the benefits of it. I'm not quite through the.
the detox.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
And so it's like a whole celery, like a
I literally on my grocery order, I order like 10 stalks of celery
holy.
because you need a whole
Like a whole head.
bunch
Yeah.
for 1 cup.
That's crazy.
I ordered off Amazon a juicer, a
Yeah.
small like $100 juicer. It's like pretty compact, sits
Yeah.
on my counter. It's easy to clean, and it came like Amazon Prime. I think it was like a day. And then I ordered like 10 stalks of celery, and I just like have them in my fridge, and I just have them pre-washed when they come here, and then I just throw it in the juicer in the morning.
All right.
On one weekend, you make me sound like
Yeah. Some
One
hero
weekend's
over here.
One hike in.
One
We're winning.
hike, one
We're winning 2019.
Celery juice. Yeah.
we are on top.
Follow
Okay.
up with us in like a couple of weeks.
Yes, we'll check in.
Okay.
Carly, what's your obsession tip or fact?
Ooh, my weekly obsession is it took me a while to come around to it because I was turned on to these soups. They're super easy. They're called Michels soups. And I think it's a local company. And they're so cool that just the whole idea of it, because I like things that are easy, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm no chef, never claimed to be. So these basically, I got the chicken tortilla soup. It's kind of like a Mexican tortilla soup.
And they're like hearty.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
so good. They literally, it fed me for a week. I brought this soup to work like every day. I didn't get sick of it. I think I switched it up once. But all you had to do was like brown a pound of ground beef, or you could do tofu or chicken or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just easy. Like you dump in half the bag, you let it, I'm sure all of them are different instructions, but
Probably.
dump it in for an hour, let it simmer, and then dump the other stuff in, and then you're good. Hour and a half later, like...
Well, and what I
That's so
like about
easy.
those is they're real ingredients.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like you don't like soup from a can. Like I'm sorry, like in desperate times, you
Yeah.
know, when there's a major earthquake and all those cans of soup that are bought to sit there in case.
Yeah.
That'll probably be expired by that point.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about consuming
No,
that,
not
but
at all.
I would feel good about
It's like a
consuming
hearty
Yeah.
stew.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was amazing.
Those are good.
And it got better as the days went on, as like a good soup should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
You
just
know?
like thicken. Almost
Yeah,
like,
and it
it's
does.
it's like as hearty as like a stew almost.
It turned into a stew a little bit.
I think we
Yeah,
almost
it was like almost like a chili.
do we have a food podcast, guys?
I think we
this
do.
is-
Well, I'm gonna keep the
should.
food. I'm gonna keep a food trend going. My obsession, because Dan and I have been doing a cleanse. We have cut out sugar, so
Oh, this is why you feel so good, Leah.
Wow.
I feel amazing. Instead of like I crave something sweet, so we've been having fruit, but at night sometimes I want something like that feels like a dessert. So I've been making banana ice cream, which I'm sure we've all heard of before. You have not heard of this?
I have not.
Just chop up bananas and throw a ton of them in the freezer. And then I figured out that it's like I chopped like 8 pieces per banana. So I take like my 16 pieces, throw it in a blender. I put in a heaping tablespoon of pure cacao powder because it's really good for you.
Yeah.
And then splash of plain almond milk or vanilla unsweetened because sugar free.
Yeah.
And just blend it till it's like, it becomes like a soft serve. It's just like a Wendy's soft
no.
serve.
I was just
Way.
gonna say,
Swear on my
like
life.
a frosty.
So
It's just
Sounds
like a
like a
frosty.
frosty.
it tastes like banana
chocolate.
And sorry, was the bananas frozen?
Yes.
Okay.
But chop them before you freeze them. If you just
Yeah.
throw a banana in the freezer with the peel,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you right now, you're going to hate your life when you have to freeze your hands to peel it.
100%.
I've done it. I know from experience.
That sounds amazing.
You can also put like almond butter.
I've put different things in there before. I've done like raspberry or
Raspberry.
yeah,
With
raspberry's
the,
really good.
the
with-
chocolate
I've done with
cacao?
and without.
Yum.
I'm
Yeah,
texting my
it's
roommate
so
right now. Oh my God.
And
don't
how
let me
long have you
forget.
been off sugar for now?
Since January 6th.
Good for you.
That's good.
I feel amazing.
that-
But this is so satisfying. I actually made like the whole recipe for myself and just ate the whole bowl myself one day.
There's
I
nothing
was
to feel
like,
guilty
oh,
about.
this is so good.
Yeah, but it's good.
No, it's
Yeah.
bananas, cacao, and almond milk. There's nothing bad in there.
I feel like the key to your like little cleanse is that it's long enough to create these new habits. So you're gonna
Yeah.
do it for long enough to kick. You have all these new recipes that you've done.
It's a 3-week one, so and they say it takes 3 weeks to build a new habit.
Yeah.
So after this, like we'll introduce a couple things, like maybe bring wine back in, but
maybe. I mean, firm maybe on that. I'm gonna go with for sure.
yeah, the day it ends probably we'll have a bottle. But I just think that it's exactly that. Like once you have sugar out of your system, you don't crave it. I crave something sweet, but normally like this ice cream or an orange will curb that.
Yeah.
I don't need any more. I don't need to like go buy a bag of candy.
No.
And I'm sleeping well. I feel better. My
Even
hormones
at like
are more balanced.
like
I
a
feel
bag
incredible.
of Smart Sweets for me would totally curb any like candy craving.
Yeah.
If that was it, and that's like 2 grams of sugar.
Yeah, it's really low too. So banana ice cream, y'all.
That's a good one. That's a
super
good one
good.
for kids. I feel like I
so
could.
good.
It's so good
Kids
for
would
kids.
love that.
And if you have like a high-powered blender, it's better. I use a magic bullet, so it takes forever.
Yeah, you got to do them in batches too. If you,
Yes.
unless you're doing, but it's so quick to make a small batch.
Oh yeah, it takes like 10 minutes. Super easy.
idea.
Yeah. Okay. Donni, your obsession to perfect.
What was my obsession? Oh, okay. You on Netflix. That show.
Oh, right.
The stalker show. Okay, Carly, you said you watched an episode?
I'm only one episode deep, and
I'm like
pretty
one
into it.
episode left, and my Wi-Fi wasn't working, so I couldn't stream. I literally was sitting there waiting to like
torture.
finish the whole thing, and I couldn't watch it last night. I was so mad. But it's like creepy, and what's really apparently it's written about a true narcissist.
No.
Oh, I
So
love
based on a true story.
No, I don't think.
No.
Well, I don't. Maybe many true stories. I'm sure there's
gotcha.
like so many. This guy's like a
Yikes.
total creep. But it's so funny because when you're watching it, you get like sucked into it, and you almost like don't. I feel guilty in saying that. You almost don't want him to get caught.
Yeah, you're kind of rooting for him.
Yeah, you're like he
And
can
he's
pull
funny
it.
and he's charming and he's kind of cute. And
Yeah,
like,
and I think it's like almost that's how manipulative a narcissist is.
Yes.
That it like can mind fuck you, for lack of a better term. But I'm like watching and I'm like, oh, he's gonna get caught. Like I'm so worried for him, and I'm like, why
Yeah.
don't I want him to get caught? Like, what's up with me? What's
Yeah.
wrong with me? Like,
They're probably trying to
That's a
make
good
you
point.
feel that way. It's probably
it's
part of the show.
really,
right?
really well done. I'm like really into it and enjoying it. Although it's like super creepy, and for like a big new empty house, it's like probably not the best thing to be watching. But I highly recommend everyone like dive into it because it's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Noted.
Always good to have a good Netflix.
Sydney, what are you obsessing over or? to
Well, I'm
perfect?
going to say something that I feel like I'm maybe always obsessing about, and that's dry shampoo.
Oh,
Yeah.
what brand? You have to
Verb.
tell me.
Yep, it's the brand. It took me a
Verb?
few. It took me probably about 8 different dry shampoos, and I found one.
I hate dry shampoo, but I think
Okay.
it's because I have darker hair. You can just
I've heard
Yeah,
that.
it gets so light.
yes,
And
I know. I
it's hard.
apologize. I've heard for darker hair, it's
apologize.
harder.
It's hard out
So
here
maybe
being
that
blonde.
won't, that won't work for you.
How dare you share an obsession that we don't
You
like?
can't use.
Oh, Carly has lucky blondes with just dry breaking hair.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, you're so
Don't mind
lucky.
me and my beautiful shiny brown hair. Greasy brown hair. Anyway, sorry, go on.
But oh yeah, so the company is called Verb, VERB, and it's not the spray shampoo. It's like a powder,
Oh yeah.
and honestly, it's the best. I find I'm even using it if my hair
Like when you
is
get it
clean.
fresh.
Yeah.
Because it grits it up a little.
Yeah, and it just gives it a little bit more. I have fine hair, so it gives you a little more texture and
Yeah.
tries to help
We can
me out a little
style
bit.
it easier.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Ooh, I
my
like
new
that.
fave.
I like that.
Good one.
Carly, your boss babe crush?
Okay, my boss babe crush is, well, her Instagram name is Samantha.
Oh
And
yeah.
she's super cute. I believe she's local. I know she's Canadian.
local.
She's local. Samantha Ravendall. Yeah, she's so drop dead gorgeous. Amazing.
following, too.
Yeah, crazy following. She's like 2 million
She
followers.
shops at
And
one of our
local.
stores.
Yeah, I think at the Guildford.
comes to Guildford.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I've definitely seen her before. Just drop dead gorgeous, super beautiful girl. I noticed at the beginning of the year, she posted a photo. And she's still, again, drop dead gorgeous, like gorgeous body, gorgeous face. A photo of her, and she said no more body editing for Sam for 2019. And she looks great. She's on a boat, everything, but you can like she's not photo edited. She's
Good for
not
her.
like perfect and everything. So I just thought that was really brave of her and good for you. I noticed on a lot of her makeup posts too, she'll have her face done and then she'll go swipe to see the unedited version. So it's still her makeup, how it looks and everything, but no filters, no editing. And I really respect that.
That's awesome.
Totally.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a real leader.
Because everything opposite of that is what I have a problem with social media. And
Exactly.
I'm like on it, I'm off it. I have like this love hate.
Are you like? Do you agree with me that like beauty is almost the hardest department? Because like I look at
Totally.
their faces and I'm like, my face just with or without makeup looks nothing
Yeah.
like any of these edited photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just the face I have.
Yeah, stuck with this face.
I can't change this outfit's like
Yeah.
face or
It
this
takes,
face's
like,
outfit.
Men don't wear makeup and they're
know, it's
fine. They
annoying.
feel good about themselves.
Oh,
but like
yeah.
we're already adding like an edited element to like our everyday life.
Exactly.
So like then we got to edit it on top of that.
Well, and even all the editing you do when you hold up your phone, where you can edit it right then and there too, like kids on Snapchat and all these different
Filters, yeah.
yeah, filters that they're putting on all the time, right?
Yes,
There's
it's
no
so much.
normal
It
anymore.
scares me for my kids.
Yeah, I think that's one of the scariest things right now is just, yeah. So somebody making a stand and having the courage to do that. The thing is, it's so hard for people to have the courage to do that,
Yeah.
right? Because they're trying to grow a following or they're trying to get larger. And so they feel like they have to always show that perfect image all the time.
Also, the people that do have the following get a different kind of negative follower that will like bully them
yeah.
that much more for the imperfect. It's crazy what people will comment on somebody with a lot of followers that they would never comment on
Yeah.
somebody else's.
Oh, yeah,
but it's an
totally.
insane part of our society that definitely exists.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I totally agree.
I don't have a segue for this, but my weekly obsession, surprise, surprise, is food. There's I guess she has a blog. She has a recipe website called This Savory Vegan, and the girl's name is Renee, and she has amazing recipes.
The savory vegan.
cool. I'm
Okay,
gonna write
that's
So I've been getting some major inspo from her lately too.
you got to keep the inspo coming because you've posted some stuff in the Facebook group. Everybody, if you're not in it, you got to go join. It's a good element. I think even just in the office, we all really enjoy your posts.
I know I love hearing that. The big thing I love hearing, because I mean, trying to eat healthy, is I love knowing what's quick and easy and what tastes amazing. And even if somebody like an Instagram or somebody's talking about it, just to know those two things, like it was this long, it was delicious, done. I'll try it.
You should follow the Minimalist Baker then. She has
Oh,
really
okay.
great 30-minute or like 5-ingredient or less recipes.
Oh, cool.
That's
is
the thing.
really
When you give me recipe inspo, I know you're like a true minimalist. So
Oh, yeah.
I know that it's going to be something I have in my house.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be quick and easy, but taste so flavorful. Like I'm a flavor person. If it's
Yes.
bland, like I'm out.
Totally.
Don't
Ev,
waste my
agree.
time.
I hope Ev doesn't listen to this, but he brought home like freshie for dinner last night, and he's like, he brought home bowls, but he got like no sauce, hot sauce instead, and I was like, where's the sauce?
What have you done?
I'm like, what am I even? I'd rather eat nothing than like it was so. And he's like, well, this is just a healthy bowl. But I'm like, in
No,
my
you gotta,
mind,
like, put your
I didn't want to
cashew
be
sauce on
argumentative
there.
because I was so grateful he brought dinner home. But I was like, it doesn't. A healthy bowl doesn't have to taste like shit.
No.
but it did. It was like not that good at all.
I wish I had posted my dressing sooner for the
a
Buddha
healthy-
bowl because it's a cashew dressing, but it's so flavorful.
He's got a
You
bit
could
of
use
a.
that.
Ev's like got a thinking about him that he thinks it has to taste like that to be healthy. And I'm
Oh,
constantly
yeah,
proving him
right.
wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'll make a healthy,
get that.
hearty recipe that's totally healthy.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, oh, it just tastes like he can't get past the mental block of like thinking
Like it
it's
tastes
like
too
not
good to be
bland.
healthy.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, this just tastes like it's bad for you. And he like can't accept. I'll be like, oh, I swear to God, it's made with like lemon, cashews, oil, like nothing. There's
Super
nothing.
simple.
It's super simple.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, I can't wrap my head around it. He's just like, it's like self-punishment. I don't know.
It's true though. I feel like I can relate to that because the more you have this delicious, healthy food, you're almost excited. Like, oh my goodness, it tastes good.
Yeah.
And it is good for me.
Yeah.
We like, we're all here to punish ourselves, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't eat your
Okay,
boss
Boss Babe Crush are the Foster girls, Erin and Sarah Foster. Sarah particularly, I've been really following her on Instagram and like laughing at her. She is so funny. She's such a boss. Like holy smokes! Like she founded, was it Bumble? Bumble.
Yeah, I don't know the story if she founded
Tech,
it or
Tech,
not,
Bumble.
but-
I should know more, but like what I really have been loving about her is just like her Instagram persona. Like she's so funny. Her jokes are like crack me up, and I'm like definitely had like a longer than usual like creep through her page, and I was like I'm definitely using her as my Boss Babe crush this week.
That's awesome.
That's fun.
Yeah, I love hearing about that.
Well, I'm going to go on the design side of things.
Good. Let's bring us back
you
to
should.
topic.
As you should.
For myself. Namdang Michels. She's actually from Calgary, and she's unbelievable. So she's actually got a great fashion sense, and her designs constantly, I'm in a maze of what she does. She's unique, beautiful, and everything she does is outstanding. So I'm constantly in awe of what she does.
Okay, can you spell it for me so that I can?
Yeah. So Nam, N-A-M, and then new word, Dang, D-A-N-G,
Found her.
and then Mitchell.
So she
Perfect. We'll link her in the
focuses
Facebook
on
group.
more like modern design.
Yeah, contemporary, but still always has a classic, timeless feel to all her homes. So I really do think all her homes will stand the test of time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful work. And just even her fashion sense. She's always posting the odd little picture of herself or something she's inspired by, and it's always
She
stunning.
sounds amazing. I'm going to go stalk her a little bit.
My house that we built and I moved into is like very along this trend. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
So I'm like loving it.
Oh,
and
that's
obsessed
exciting.
With anything
I'll
kind
have
of
to come see
alongside.
your house.
Yes. We're friends. I'm coming to your house. You're
Oh,
coming to my
perfect.
house.
Okay, there
You
we
guys
go.
are pretty close together too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
are
outside
you?
Fort Langley.
Oh,
so,
you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah, so similar area. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's been a true. What's when you like put all your heart into something? Like it's been like a work of love for
Yeah.
sure. Like I am reflecting on the last year, and it took a lot of my time that I could have put elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm just being honest with myself. I'm like, wow, that was like a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it is for everyone just because of the amount of detail there is. And people don't always realize that going into it.
Well, I didn't intend on it either. Like we hired a contractor, we hired a designer, like we,
Yeah, so you had the
we
help.
set ourselves up to still be able to run our own businesses, but like it didn't quite go as planned. And so I and my husband we ended up being like really formative part of the process. And looking back, I'm like, holy smokes, like I didn't plan on giving that much of myself to something.
Yeah, well, probably because you have an eye. I do find whenever clients have a really good eye themselves, they can't help but get involved,
Yeah,
right?
how
Like,
can
how
you,
can
like,
you let that
outsource
go?
that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah, it makes sense.
Carly, what's one thing you're working on improving this week?
So basically, just going back to being healthy overall, body, mind, and soul, like working on physical exercise. And my thing for this month, I'm going to give it to the end of January, is cleaning out my closet. And obviously working here, I've got $300 jeans with tags on them that I am too skinny for now. But like, I don't want to throw them away, or like I hang on to things because they're expensive or I loved it at a time. And so I have all these things that are in bags in my closet, and there's literally just no room for all my new clothes that need and deserve hangers. So yeah, just going through and
The cleaning out.
and with what was her name?
Marie Kondo.
So I want to channel that, and I want to watch this show. And you said that don't you have to go through and bless everything?
You're supposed to
or-
hold
I
everything
think.
and see if it sparks joy, and if it doesn't, say thank you and
Let it go.
Let it go.
I need to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, we hang on to so many things for like a sentimental reason that we don't wear, and really like clutters our minds, and it makes it more difficult to get dressed, which for me is a big part of my day.
Yeah.
If I start off like that. I wanted to like walk in my closet and have clarity.
And be
I want to wear this
excited.
to be fun again.
Yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
it to be overwhelming.
And I don't want to try on that same shirt 14 times when you're like struggling if you don't have an outfit. If I don't have an outfit for something that's important to me, it's like a meltdown, like a 3-year-old's meltdown. Like I lose my mind, I pull everything out, I try everything on that like I know it's not going to work. I know that shirt has served its purpose and it needs to go.
Yeah.
But it still is somehow deserving of a
I
hanger.
have a tip for that. So I think when you're done with your purge, you're going to be left with a stack of maybes that you're like, you can't quite let go, but you don't quite know. And I think you should be really honest about that. Hang them up on one rack and have that be. And for like a week, if you pull something off that rack, like you give yourself a week only.
Yeah.
If you wear something off of it, you keep it.
Right.
If you put something on and take it off once because it's not right, get rid of it.
That's such a good tip.
And so you give yourself like a week to give yourself an answer to it. but you have to. By the end of the week, if you haven't touched it,
It's gone.
goodbye.
Good
Yeah,
call.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
going to do it.
Do it. We'll
Tonight.
check in next
Tomorrow.
week.
Okay, yeah.
If you watch that show, it makes it kind of like fun. You're like so inspired by the end result that you're like, oh yeah,
Exactly. I
yeah,
need to be
'cause it
inspired.
works.
And it's just like cleaning up my house. My roommate and I got this beautiful picture collage that we just need to hang and put our pictures in it and put it in our living room. But it's been 2 months and it's sitting there.
And you can drink wine while doing all of that,
Exactly.
Carley. So that's your activity.
You know me so well.
Oh, me. Okay. Something I'm working on doing is being really intentional. This is a little bit this year, but I just want to carve out more time for myself to be creative. I haven't painted in a while. I draw a little bit for work, but I really would like to get myself set up in our new home. Just like, have my creative space so it's not hard to like, oh, I got to pull everything out. I want to make it really easy. So I have like a little corner that I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and paint.
Do
So
it.
I want to get back into
Do
that.
it.
Yeah, I haven't painted in years.
Paint me in
Really
painting.
feel
Designers always need artists. You have to show me.
Yeah.
Well, let's touch base in a while.
I know. I'm
Let
in
me
the
get back inspire
I'm
you.
in the market for some art, so I'm like,
Let me get back into
Leah, what
it
do you got?
first.
something
No
in black
pressure.
and white, please.
No pressure. Donnie.
That's funny because I've been on like Minted, like really creeping
Oh,
on
yeah.
their art
Beautiful
section
stuff.
lately.
Yeah,
and
really
I'm
nice.
like gonna
Really
pull
cool
the trigger
stuff.
on a few pieces.
Yes.
What it's all internal self. Like I'm really trying to just like self-love and tell myself like I am enough, because I've realized like I tell myself so many times in a day, like in other ways, like you're not enough at work, you're not here, you're not like, because I'm unable to completely be in multiple places at one time, that you're doing enough and that's okay, and just give myself a break, because I think I truly am my worst enemy. And I said that on the last podcast, I think it was 100 A or B, and I got a lot of responses on Instagram, people messaging me about, I think, my honesty and like my caring what people think and that, but it's just truthfully something that I think I am my worst critic, and I need to really work on that.
There's so many, I think a lot of women can relate to that, because we have so many external voices that we start to listen to and that we let take precedence in our life. And even it could be like a manager at work or your family or social media, but to be able to be centered and go, no, I'm going to listen to my internal voice of knowing what I know about myself.
But do you also like agree that we often tell ourselves it's voices from external, but it's not? It's actually our internal voice that we're hearing. Like we're interpreting something in a way that isn't being sent in that way.
Oh, totally.
So like you might come into a conversation where you think somebody's coming off in a certain way, but really it's your defensiveness.
Yeah.
Or
and that's
your-
like defensiveness from like, it's bringing up some maybe past thing that you didn't really recognize. There's like so many theories
there's
around
so many
that.
things around it, but I find like I might point the finger at like someone that is making me feel a certain way, but it's really like my own definition of myself that is really like interpreting it that way. Sure.
Yeah, that's why you have to have that internal confidence and wisdom to be like, nope, that's not true.
Yeah. And I find the people that are really close to me that I talk to about it, they all have the same response. Like, you need to give yourself a break. You just need to give yourself a break and stop telling yourself like you're not enough, because you are enough. And I think that if of women, we interpret that message from society a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, too hard on ourselves.
That's a good one.
Like, I don't think men are doing that.
I think men now are. I think there's even more pressure on men now too. You know, I think too with the rise in women and the strength of women. I think.
Maybe it'll have like
Different
a
pressures.
Yeah, I think there is different pressures now too. So I think
Life is
we
just
all
hard.
struggle with that.
Life is hard for everybody.
Yeah, I just think there's more pressure in North America, right? Because of also stuff, right? We want more, we do more, we want to
Totally.
be more fit, we want to look better, we want to have more money, it's more. And then when do we have time to just calm down?
And be present.
Yeah, exactly. And remember just relationships and how important that is. And that's what grounds us, and that's what gives us life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
On that note, what are you working on?
Well, I'm just going to keep
improving?
on going because it's kind of the same thing. I was just going to say finding balance for myself too. Like I was even saying, I just think it's easy to get distracted with stuff. And when you're a business owner, you're always trying to push for more. I'm trying to push for more for the girls that work for me. I want to provide for them. I want to make sure that they can continue to grow and do better. And I want my kids to do well, and I want my husband to do well. And I'm a part of that, not because we're all in relationship together.
Yeah.
And so it's finding that balance of where do I take time for myself, and where is that okay, and where am I giving, and all that. So balance is continually something I feel like is a daily thing.
Oh yeah. And it's like moment by moment too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that.
Absolutely.
Okay, we want to talk about you now, Sydney.
Oh.
Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do in case our listeners don't know of your company.
Sure, of course. So Purity Designs, we started about 8 years ago, and my background actually is a Bachelor of Arts, and I studied finance and psychology and some other things.
Cool.
And when I had kids, I took a bit of a break off, and I actually did even a baby purity conference in regards to natural health.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so I've kind of been all over the place, and wanted to spend time with my kids, so I was trying to do different things, but be at home instead of do my corporate job. And in that, my husband and I were building a home, and the contractor didn't seem to have a designer. And so we were all talking, and my husband was like, well, why doesn't Sydney design it? And I was like, yes, why don't I design this house?
It's
And
great when a husband just throws you right into something like
exactly.
that.
Yes.
Sure, no problem.
Yes, I can do that.
Sounds like a
Absolutely.
husband thing to do.
Absolutely. So before you know it, I was quoting on it. I always loved design, fashion, just never thought of it as an avenue to go into, and ended up designing that home and did the furniture, then everything for it. And it ended up in my first publication in Style at Home. And from there, a kitchen cabinet company recommended me, a plumber, other contractors. It just snowballed.
Wow.
And it just kept going. And I was like, I love this. This is amazing. And we continued to do new construction, multi-residential, renovations. And then when people can't afford it, we also do the furniture as well. So, yeah, but it tends to be a lot of new builds and large renos. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing now. And now my new space, we've been there for almost 5 years, where the studio is now on the 5 acres where I renovated a barn.
I love that.
Yeah, so kind of neat. So our downstairs space is, I've got 3 girls that work for me, interior designers, and we have materials there. So our tile and our hardwood and carpet samples and everything's there. And then an upstairs area where I can present the designs. And like I said, a lot of people come to us now, which is different. I used to be in my car all the time, driving out everywhere. So it's kind of neat that people are coming to us. It makes my life a little bit easier too.
Create your life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's been neat. And now other things we're doing, we've been working on Love It or List It. We did some episodes for them, and then we also did some work for Worst to First, another TV show. And yeah, so just different exciting things that I'll try and see how it is. But the design world of TV is a lot of work, and so it's just finding that balance.
It's
But
production
there's a lot of
on
pressure.
top of it.
yeah, and really short timelines.
Yeah, so much pressure.
really
there.
short timelines.
Yeah, like showing something that, like, for example, my experience of the last 2.5 years on my house, I'm putting it into like half an hour. Could you imagine the editing?
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that.
Oh, exactly. And just even the pressure on a contractor. And then we end up managing all that too. So all the products and supplies and then
Sounds like hell, actually.
yeah. And then budgets are really tight too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
Wow.
it's a different world, but it's good.
What a
It's good to
whirlwind.
experience it all, right? And find out what works and what doesn't. And but we're having a lot of fun, and I've got 3 great designers that are amazing women, and we just love coming to work. We get along. We have a lot of silly, fun times. And honestly, that's the biggest thing that drives me now. I mean, it started off with the design, and now it's gone into a point that employing these women and having a great job for them and hoping to grow the company for their benefit is a lot of my focus now.
I think that's a beautiful focus. Yeah.
I like how you have brought that up a couple times. I relate to that. One of my biggest motivating factors as like an entrepreneur is my team and like helping them achieve their dreams.
Exactly.
I'm naturally just like really a people person and a people pleaser, which can sound really negative, but like I really truly care about people's well-being. Yeah. And so I find that that's one of my major driving forces.
Yeah, exactly. Which is hard because it drives you, but it can also, like you're saying, be the thing that beats you up.
It can be hard.
Well, and as a business owner, I find that sometimes that's my soft spot can become my weak spot.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Well, we're too, it's what I talked about on a podcast a little while ago about being a little bit too emotional about business.
Exactly.
You have to keep a bit of a separation sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes not be too soft, like trying to find that grit.
Yeah.
Right?
Loving what you do to a detriment, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and being thankful. Sometimes I'm so thankful for my job and thankful for the homes and thankful for the people that are entrusting us to do their dream home. You know, that you're like, I'm thankful for you and that I'm able to take this on. And, you know, it's so fun. It's so fun to be able to do somebody's dream home and furnish it for them. And just that first entry point where they walk into their home and we've
And they
completed
see
it
it.
all. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. And usually there's tears and it's emotional and it's a
that'd
neat
be such a
experience.
nice moment to be
It
there
is.
for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
neat.
that's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
What draws you into a new project? Like, are there things that just really excite you about different projects?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy when people are willing to be challenged. So it's easy to be on social media and see, you know, white kitchen, Carrera marble, and everybody wants the same thing sometimes. So it's fun when somebody wants to go outside the box and is willing for us to push the limits a little bit and do something different. That's so exciting. So, I mean, obviously doing those homes that a lot of people love, that's fun too. And it always looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's fun to photograph. But when we can push the boundaries, as designers, that's so fun because we're always thinking of the next thing and what's happening and the future. And so to be able to do that for a client when they can is awesome. That's probably the most exciting and
Totally,
rewarding.
because it's one thing to like have all these big ideas, but then like bringing them to action,
and
make
execute.
people executing it with their life savings. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because sometimes those ideas are very expensive as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
I can see that would be like very exciting, but also a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's probably, it's true. That's the biggest challenge is sometimes those really fun design concepts do cost more money.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
new and they're like maybe only one person's making it versus like
absolutely.
it being like on Wayfair and everywhere and like available to mass markets.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you walk into spaces ever and see something totally different than what your client wants?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, usually they're like one of the most popular things right now is like a white cabinet and a lot of Carrera marble. So that's usually what people are going towards. But when you can walk into something and, you know, totally have something brand new where it's really, really contemporary or somebody's really, really eclectic, sometimes I'm really impressed even. Like if we're going to renovate a space, I remember this one woman in particular, and she saw me from a magazine and wanted me to come in and help her out. And her space was so eclectic. So a little bit of traditional and some finds from travels. And I was like, this is gorgeous. Like, what do you need help with? Because to me too, when you can put together a really unique, like traditional with contemporary and finds and put that all together, like that takes a lot of talent.
And it makes it really personal too.
Absolutely. So I appreciate that. And so
Yeah.
sometimes I don't want to walk into that space and change it.
Like
because,
crush it.
Yeah, because I see so much talent there and beauty in it.
I'm a really creative person naturally. Like I just love design of all things.
Right.
But I feel like I hired a designer for my home, and he's been Gregory Funk. He's been wonderful to work with, and we really are well aligned with our visions.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of my big my husband's like, you don't necessarily need a designer. You could probably do it.
Right.
But I'm like, you sometimes need someone to tell you your ideas aren't crazy.
Absolutely.
Right? Like you need someone to rein it in or just give you that reassurance that you're on the same page.
Oh, absolutely. And I'd say probably like a quarter of our clients are like that, where they are women or men that have an amazing eye and definitely have beautiful spaces previously and say they're doing a new home. But it's just that affirmation of this is what we're thinking. Does this work? And affirming their ideas.
And I feel like the term like interior designer has this like expensive exterior, right? Like it looks, it sounds rich. Okay, an interior designer. But I feel like going through the process of like either I've done a renovation and a home build now, and I feel like the opposite, they are the best money you can spend and they'll save you money. Because you could make a lot of very expensive mistakes and would without just simple changes that a designer will say, oh, no, you got to do this way. You got to put a laundry room on the main floor or the upstairs or whatever. You know what I mean? Some simple tricks. I feel like money well spent.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think you bring up a good point, because a lot of homes we even do will be spec homes where we're doing homes for contractors, or we might do a small development for a contractor. And I mean, those, they don't want to spend a lot of money, right? So we are able to get that great look and watch how we spend our money, because we know the product so well. We know the tile and the flooring and the hardwood and different ways to achieve a look and not spend a lot of money. So it's a good point, because a lot of people do think designers are really expensive and I'm going to get an expensive look, and they're putting Montauk couches in and everything's custom. But that's not the case. We'll definitely find, I mean, we go to HomeSense. I'm going to, you know, try and find some great finds for you.
HomeSense is the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
I'm
love
always
HomeSense.
excited when I can
Spent
find
a lot of
great,
money there this weekend.
Yeah.
Did some damage.
There's
in the towel
areas to
department.
spend and there's areas to splurge, and I'm sure you work within so many different budgets that there's something, you can find something for everybody.
Absolutely. And that's where you get to know the range too, where you've got people that want to spend low and they're like, we're really tight on budget.
Yeah.
And then you've got people that have the money and they're like, I want something unique. I'd like to look fancy and fabulous. And, you know, so you've got this broad range, which is great as a designer too, because it's fun to have that range and be able to do all those different types of
There's a
things.
lot of some similarities in fashion. Sorry if I'm interrupting. A lot of similarities in fashion with people who might think that they're fashionable because they're wearing something expensive or like a reputable brand, but it has nothing to, it's not put together, or it's not paired properly, or they're not styling it. Compared to someone who might be dressed in like H&M or Forever 21, looks impeccably styled. You can really like, there's such a range there.
That's so true. Yeah.
I have an IKEA filled house because we signed 12-month contracts and have moved 3 times in 3 years. And I made it look as cute as possible with my IKEA stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
there, you can do a lot.
Okay.
And it's not all IKEA.
I also dumped a lot of money at IKEA this week.
Yeah.
When you brought that up.
Yeah.
But totally, you can pair. They actually have so many adorable, cute things, and like home organizing. Oh my God, I bought these drawer inserts from there that you have to go get, Carley, because they're like a life changer. And
Did I see your? Was that on your Insta story?
that was on my Insta story.
Okay, with the kids'
all
clothes.
like IKEA drawer inserts, and I bought these like glass jars that are like so good for organizing.
I did that.
IKEA's
I did that last
great.
weekend. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And like
Doing the same
minimalist style is so in right now. So it's
And
like
you, and like you were saying, Sydney, you can pair it with some of those other pieces. Like I have some beautiful furniture, like original 70s, gorgeous,
fun.
like teak. Oh, so
mid-century.
you just mid-century, it's gorgeous. But the rest is IKEA.
yeah,
That's
but you
awesome. No, there's
but
great
you just
things.
pair,
You
IKEA
just balance,
follows
right?
the trends, right?
Absolutely.
So it's something that you might want to replace in a year or two. Anyways, so what's the
They have,
point?
and they have great rugs. They have great lighting.
Yeah.
Like even their pendant lighting.
Totally.
Absolutely.
They
Yeah,
do. They had some really cute pendants I saw there.
Yeah.
I'd already dropped my entire budget on lighting, so I was past that point by the time I got there. But I was like, I was in awe the last time I went there because they're really nailing that like mid-century style.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. I think it's a great place to go. I feel like and
you
even
can find
pillow
balance.
inserts.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you can't be.
If you
what
have
can find
kids,
there.
especially like a kid's room, I was like, all right, we're doing dressers, we're doing beds, we're doing like so many things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a great stop.
And
All those
buy
places.
myself some expensive handbags with what I saved.
Sydney, I feel like you got into interior design so organically, but what has been the biggest challenge as you've been coming through your business and growing your business with your staff, and how did you maybe overcome that challenge?
Yeah, I guess at the beginning, a lot of it was the quick growth and trying to manage hiring people and who do you hire?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes do you hire accounting and administration first, or do you hire designers, and trying to figure all that out at the beginning. And that was a bit of a challenge. And then also you're so focused on design, and now I'm employing people and managing people and different personalities and trying to make things work, and sometimes juggling that. But I feel like that's come to a place where now I've figured it all out, and I can confidently say I'm so happy with the team and where we've all come to. I'd say now that the challenges that we face now and moving forward tends to be sometimes the clients we hire and figuring out who do we hire. And who do we take on,
being
and
more
who do
selective?
and sometimes who do we say that it's not going to work?
Those are hard conversations.
They're really hard
Would
conversations.
you take me on?
Yeah, I don't know. No.
Just answer right now.
On air.
No, it's what's interesting in design is, and we were just talking about this yesterday, is that when you're a designer too, you come across so many different people. I guess you would too in fashion as a retailer, right? Yeah. Is so many different personalities. Right? Because people aren't coming to you with that same personality of wanting a new home. Some people are perfectionists. Some people are really relaxed. Some people have a lot of money and want to show that they have a lot of money. Some people are really tight with their budget. And then styles range from mid-century to traditional to classic to really contemporary. And so all those different personalities. And in design, I love so many different designs.
You appreciate all of them,
I really
I'm sure.
do. So I would never want to pigeonhole and say, no, we only do contemporary.
Yeah.
I love doing all of them. And so it is fun. Just trying to figure out who we take on sometimes and what makes sense. And looking at that going forward. That's kind of something that we're trying to pinpoint.
I think that's the test of a true designer. Like, can you really get on like your customer's level and like get into their range of what their vision is and not just like your palette?
Yeah.
Because obviously you're going to have your favorites. And if it was your house, you'd do it one way.
Right. Absolutely.
But everybody has different appreciations and different.
Oh, absolutely. And and sometimes even there's been some clients that maybe, like one client actually in particular was really, really traditional. And I was like, I don't know if we can take it on. Like he seems really traditional.
What a challenge.
Yeah, like a little too traditional. But you know what? Just spending more time with him, he's gotten more and more open to us pushing and challenging him a little bit. And now I'd have to say it's probably going to be one of our best homes.
Wow.
Just because he's letting us push his boundary a little bit. So we're actually able to do some more exciting things. So
that's cool.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know too how things are going to turn out.
When you get into the flow of things, where do you draw your inspiration from, especially on a project like that? Like, is it kind of the bones of the room or the house that you're doing, or do you like find a piece and then it kind of flows from there? Or
Right. I'd say just getting to know the people. And I would say if Purity Designs had a strength, I think it's really finding out who our clients are and really spending time with them in regards to, how do they function with their family? What kind of home are they looking for? What do they aspire their home to say? How much do they entertain? And I do feel like we can confidently walk away from a first meeting and really find out who that client is and making sure we deliver on that. And usually that the second meeting when we're showing you all our designs, people are really happy with how we tend to nail who they are. And so it can be from contemporary to traditional, but really, trying to pinpoint who they are. And that's usually the biggest challenge, but so fun when you do get that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that would inform every decision then, because when you're looking at anything you're doing, it would be so clear, like that's not functional enough or that's not beautiful and showy enough. That would, knowing your clients really well, would totally inform every decision along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't you think though that's almost an advantage as like a team of women, like in really like picking up on what people want? Like naturally we're more nurturers. I feel like we can really like dig into the heart of who people are a little bit easier than men can.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. Just having that kind of sensitivity to find out like who are you and what are you wanting in this home, and just making sure, because at the end of the day, I mean, this is where people live. I mean, this is where they're spending all their time and their family, and they want to relax and they want to entertain and they want to have all those different aspects going on in their home. So trying to ensure that we've captivated them and captivated who they are. It's not about Purity Designs. It's about who are you and how do you want to live. So
I like the name too, Purity Designs, and how it aligns with exactly what you're talking about. It just all ties in together. Nothing feels forced. It just feels like, of course, it's called Purity Designs.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, we're getting to the end here though, but tell us what's coming up for your company.
Yes. Well, something exciting is the Vancouver Home Show. I am going to be speaking at that end of February. So talking about secrets to design. I won't share too much. You'll have to come.
Come on. Tell us the secrets right now.
So that's exciting.
Really exciting.
And then we also did the designs for Worst to First, that TV show. So they're airing for their second season. They had a bit of a break. And we did the design for their first episode, and that'll be coming out, I think, in the springtime.
Very
And then actually this other home I was talking about that started off really traditional. It's a 16,000 square foot home.
Wow.
A little big.
Wow. What a fun project.
Is it in Langley?
It's actually in Chilliwack. He has, I think it's over 20 acres.
Wow.
And honestly, they're amazing clients, sweet clients. He usually designs his own home. The husband is usually quite involved. And we're working with an amazing contractor as well, Shermar Construction. I love working with them. Little plug. And anyways, I'm just really excited about this home, and it's a great client, and it's a big home. And so far he's letting us do a lot of really exciting things. So.
Wow.
Cool. What an opportunity, like with a big home
Yeah.
like that, though, too. There's so many different rooms that you can. Is it
Yeah.
Kourtney Kardashian's house on the Kardashians? Like every room has a different theme.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like interesting approach, but like
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of.
Yeah. Well,
You
that
can
would
do
be
so many
exciting.
different
know.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so that's fun.
Amazing.
I'm excited about that. So hopefully that continues to pan out well. But yeah, we've got lots of projects going on.
Yeah.
So usually new construction and new renos, and
Amazing.
yeah, getting into 2019, right?
Yeah.
on.
I love it. Cindy, something we love to ask from all of our guests is to maybe share a piece of advice or a mantra that you're living your life by.
Okay. Yeah, I would say probably, I think what we already touched on a little bit is trying to find balance. And the other thing is always finding the best in people. I think too, being an employer, it's taught me that all of us aren't perfect, obviously. And so-
Really?
I
Come on.
know.
I think I am.
Just kidding. Maybe you are. Okay. Just trying to find that balance of figuring out the positives in people and the strengths in people, and sometimes pulling that out in one another. And I guess that's something I really try and live by. Right? Even with my kids and relationships, when things are hard or things aren't going well, I think there's always another side to every story. And trying to hear what that other side might be, not be too judgmental in that. And so I guess it's just, balance and finding the best in people.
It's
love
like a
that.
management approach that we talk about a lot, and that's kind of some close values to what we value on our team as well.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Cindy, where can our listeners find you online?
So you can find me on Instagram. That's probably where we're doing most of our social media. We actually have a new website that's going to be coming out, but we have one right now. And
Is it puritydesigns.com?
puritydesigns.com. .ca.
.ca. And your Instagram is at Purity Designs?
I think it's just Purity Designs.
Purity Designs. Perfect.
Yeah, right?
Amazing. We'll post links.
Yeah,
in
post
the
links.
podcast
That would be
descriptions and
great.
everything
And then
too.
Purity Designs is our website. That's probably the biggest. puritydesigns.ca and Instagram. Those are probably the
Amazing.
two main
Yeah.
sources.
We'll find the links and post them so
thank
everyone
you.
can find
Thank you. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for
Appreciate
being
you
with us,
having
Sydney.
me.
Yeah,
That's
it was so nice to
sweet.
have
So
you
nice
share.
chatting with you.
Yeah.
I feel all
You guys too.
inspired.
Yeah. Same.
I know, and I'm excited to see your food thing. So make sure.
Oh yeah. I'll flag them for you.
I'll send them to you personally. Each one.
Don't worry, I'm kind of obsessed with cooking.
I've
so
been
I'm
I've
happy
been
to do
creeping
that.
through your Instagram page this whole episode, and I'm like obsessed. Like I definitely love your vision.
Oh, thank you.
So
That's
good.
sweet. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, don't forget to follow us as well on social at Style for the Priv and our brand new at Priv Talks podcast. Hop on over there. We'll have some special things for you. And feel free to subscribe and rate us 5 stars and leave us a review. You can also shop on our website with the code PRIVTALKS for 20% off. And then we have amazing giveaways and events in our Facebook group. And like I said, some recipes that I'm posting for you. And Carly's going to post some stuff too. And so is Hunter.
My hiking progress. Stay tuned,
yeah.
everybody.
Stay tuned. So hop on over into the Facebook group and join us. And let's keep the conversation going over there. Thanks for listening. And thanks for being here, Sydney.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.